All right, guys, we're gonna go over the dead bug corrective here. That's a great corrective exercise, especially for trunk stability, but especially for those that exhibit an anterior pelvic tilt or an arch through their lower back. Okay, if you do that consistently just posturally, or if you deviate into that position through more other functional movements, like squatting, lunging, walking, things like that, this is definitely something that you're gonna wanna get down, okay? The dead bug, keep in mind, has a lot of progressions. So the full dead bug, if you are able to control this motion, this is what you would do. We're gonna drop from this position here, we're gonna drop an arm and the opposite leg simultaneously. And the name of the game is, can we keep our lower back on the ground? Can we control our pelvic lumbar spine position, okay? So it would look something like this. As you extend your left arm and your right leg, you would hold your lower back to the ground. Okay, if I wasn't able to stabilize that position, it might look something more like this. Okay, and you can notice here, if I can't stabilize that position, my lower back arches way off the ground, okay? Now, it might not look that severe for most of you, so even if you feel just a little bit of change, if you're going down and it's just kind of slightly coming undone, I would prefer you to, if you can't control that, to back up into some of these other progressions, okay? So if you are somebody who's very challenged by that, the easiest progression you can start with here is, in that position, we're gonna add an arm bar. Okay, I call this an arm bar. You're engaging your anterior oblique sling for one, and you're also helping to control the pelvic position via trunk stability. So apply a little pressure here, self-resist. The knee has to win this battle. If I'm pushing here and I push my knee away, my pelvis is gonna rotate and my lower back's gonna come up off the ground. So that's the use of the arm bar. You can always add that into any of these variations to make it easier. So we're gonna add an arm bar, and we're just gonna start with our arm, dropping overhead, okay? I'm focusing on keeping my rib cage tucked toward my hips and my lower back on the ground, okay? I could take away my arm bar to make that a little bit more challenging. The next progression would be just a leg. So I could arm bar, I could drop just a heel toward the ground, and I'm trying to keep my pelvis stable. I could take away my arm bar, make it harder, okay? I could add an arm bar, do an arm and a leg, okay? I could take away the arm bar, arm and a leg. Then from there, to make it harder, you would just work on extending further and further that leg. So I could go here, I could go here, I could go here, okay? So that is how you're gonna work the progressions on the dead bug. Again, you're gonna find a position or a point in that progression where you're challenged yet successful, okay? That's how corrective exercise works. So work on that, regain ability to stabilize the pelvis lumbar spine, and you'll be good to go.